This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Whoa. I'm on my Tony Ferguson shit because let me be honest with you, boys. Your boy's got a little bit of a headache. The flashes in the eyes. I got a light above me. So I'm going to rock this for a little bit. So if you're on the YouTubes, you're probably like, look at this son of a bitch. This guy went Hollywood on us. Not yet, but right now, got the sunnies on because it is fucking light. Got to give you the last pick 'em of the year really late in the night. Usually this is where I'm editing and I try to post. I already posted the slime ball. Hit the social media for that. Obviously, give it at the end of the show as well. But yeah, I fell behind. I was going to do it yesterday. I got a lot of life stuff going on, okay? And I really wasn't going to get into the life stuff. I've kind of mentioned it here and there. Something going on with my mother. And I guess I'll go ahead and open the show, I guess, on some somber news and maybe some good news a little bit. You know, I'm open and I'm transparent. That's what I want to be with you guys. I'm not trying to hide anything. My mother had COVID a month and a half ago. They scanned her lungs to see if she had pneumonia. She didn't, but they found a nodule. Then we got another scan. The nodule was a mass because of the size. Got another scan. It lit up. You blood work, all this, in and out of hospitals, just getting these scans, and then had a biopsy Monday. So right when I landed for Vegas, went and took her home from Vegas, took her to go to the biopsy. They went down her throat, removed some of the mass or whatever, the biopsy, it checked some of her lymph nodes. And then yesterday we found out the news that she got diagnosed with lung cancer. So that's been tough because my mother's everything to me. She's the strongest woman I know. And obviously I love her to death. I'm a mama's boy. And you know, I didn't really have a dad growing up. I had a stepdad, but my mom, again, that's my girl. She's my number one. She's always supported me and I love her to death. So a little bit numb yesterday, if I'm not gonna be honest with you. That's why I didn't record. I was gonna do a James Krause video as well. You know, and I just was kind of numb. I didn't know what to do. I tried to stay strong for her, and of course I'm going to be there for her, but went to the doctor today to find out stages and all that. So she's in stage 1 and 2. So it's very early that we caught it. It's the most common lung cancer. She used to smoke for 20 years. So, you know, this is probably from the results from the smoking. You know what? Excuse me. She used to smoke most of her life. She hasn't smoked in 20 years. So this is most case from the smoking. It's the most common, most treatable. And with her early stage, we found out today that 86% of people respond well to the treatment. So there's going to be some chemo, which is not nice. And there's going to be some immunotherapy and a couple other stuff. But, you know, it could be in the pill form, could be in the IV form. The doctors are still kind of going to make a path of what she does. But the one thing I will say is my mom is a hypochondriac. She always thinks something's wrong with her. And now that something is wrong with her, I'm so proud of her for being so brave. I mean, she basically looked the doctor in the face and said, I'm going to kick its ass. I'm beating this, right? Wasn't scared. Obviously, she's scared, but, you know, she's being brave and she's taking this head on just like that's what you do in life. You take things head on. And I couldn't be prouder of her and couldn't be, you know, obviously it's very sad and it's scary and you got a lot of emotions. But today, seeing her confidence and talking to the doctor, and he's very confident, it makes you feel good, right? Yesterday was a pretty down day for me. I was, you know, we've been hit a lot this year. You know, father-in-law back in June, my grandfather, who was one of the most important people in my life, in September, and now this. You know, we need a win here. And today felt like a win, even if it's not a win. You know what I mean? So so that's why I've been a little spotty, and maybe early next year. I know we got like a month break before we do fights. Early next year, hopefully, you know, I'm going to be with her every step of the way. So hopefully, I'm still gonna pump out content. I'm committed to this, but you know, we'll see how it goes. If I'm a little late on a few things and I'm this and that, I apologize, but it is what it is. Just because, you know, we got some your boy's got some stuff today, you know, going on in his life. And again, today was a good day. And I'm looking forward to doing the final pick'em of the year. So sorry starting the show with a downward note, kind of positive ending there, right? And I'm gonna take these off. I think I can survive now. People are gonna be like, "Oh, he wore those so he didn't cry." I'm not a big crier. I cried a little bit today when I got the good news. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got a little teary eyed. I don't mind like a manly man. I'm not like, oh, only pussies cry. I'm not like that at all. I think I forgot how to cry. I just don't cry a lot. Cry when my wife and I just talked about this the other day. So she had never seen me cry. We've been together, I mean, really together for a long time, right? And we had our baby. And during our wedding day, she's like, "Are you gonna cry when you see me? You're gonna cry when I walk down the aisle?" I was like, "I don't know, maybe." And you see a lot of and I didn't. I was just so goddamn happy. She looked so beautiful. I didn't cry. But then our baby was born, Winnie James, and she came out, and it was a very rough labor. And when she finally came out and everything was done, my wife was okay and the baby was healthy. It felt like someone shot me with like a Cupid's arrow, but a Cupid's arrow full of like tears. I was weeping, snot. And the doctor's like, "You want to cut the umbilical cord?" I was like, "Where is it?" I'm like wiping my eyes trying to cut this fucking thing. My wife was so out of it, but like it was, she didn't, I mean, she remembers, but I was bawling. So I'm not a big crier. So the sunglasses were in fact for the lights. Might throw them back on if I get a little whatever. But we got a fight night here. Final fight night of the year. I really like this card. It sucks that we got to have like a month in between cards. You know, they kind of do that. You know, they end the year because, you know, the holidays, they don't want to throw anything up. And, you know, we don't really have anything. I know we have Bellator on New Year's Eve, which Bellator versus Risen, which is, you know, I'll probably tune in for that. But other than that, we don't really have much. But this is gonna be a banger of a card. So we'll start off here. First Friday night, Sergey Morozov minus 285 versus Journey Newsom plus 240. You know, Morozov, this is a guy, you know, he's got the Russian name. He ends in an OV, right? You think he's gonna, you know, dismantle people. I think he's very fucking average. I think his grappling is good. I think he gets hit a lot. He's been rocked a lot. He has a lot of heart. He's coming back. He came back from fights. His striking is okay, but he tends to like to strike a little more. He thinks it's a little better than what it is. There, Journey Newsom. The only thing I knew about Journey Newsom was he got fucking destroyed by Randy Costa. However, he rebounded well his last time out. Looked good, undersized for the division, small, powerful guy, big power. I remember I lost quite a bit of money when he beat up what's a fucking guy's name? Now I'm gonna have to look it up because it's in my head. I had a nice hefty wager on this guy. He came from the Contender Series. He did nothing in the UFC. It was a big swing and a miss for your boy. He knocked out Domingo Pilarte, but they overturned it because of some probably weed or some shit like that. What are you gonna do? But give me the dog here, right?
Hello? Okay, this is dog.
I don't love the first fight. I usually bet the first night to kind of get the juices flowing, see what we got for the night. But listen, Sergey Morozov gets hit a lot. I'm not overly confident in him. This number is wide on his end. Minus 285 is wide. Journey Newsom, big, powerful puncher, short, stocky. I'm imagining he's going to be hard to get to the ground. He seems pretty well rounded. His biggest issue has been he's been caught on the feet. Morozov, though, gets caught on the feet himself. I like Journey Newsom's power. You're giving me plus 240. 240. I'm going to take the 240 plus 240. I like it by KO as well, which would be another nice juicy prop play there. I think he can hurt Morozov. Hopefully he can finish him because Morozov does have some nice comeback wins. All right, next up, David Dobrak plus 210 versus Manel Kape minus 250. Why is this the second fight on the card? Manel Kape, you know, was a stand-in or backup for a main event for the flyweight title. This guy's the real deal. Now, I think maybe here's the conspiracy brain. He pops for some picograms a couple months ago, got pulled. We haven't seen him since the picogram incident. We haven't seen him a little bit. On a nice 2-fight win streak here, both by finishes, and that's been his biggest issue in his UFC career is he just doesn't go. The Matthias Nicolau fight, he didn't go. The Pantoja fight, he didn't go. Two elite guys, David Dobrak got knocked around by Nicolau in Columbus. I saw it live. So two elite guys that Kape lost to, but when he goes, when he lets it go, he's very dangerous. He's very good. Is he worried about the takedowns because he's lost a submission in the past? He's extremely athletic, extremely explosive. David Dobrak is going to be looking for these takedowns here. He's a long guy. Throws a jab out there. His boxing is just so basic. I see explosion openings for Manel Kape, who has worked on his cardio, who's been elite. He's went everywhere. He left Europe with the AK. Now he's in Vegas. I think he's bounced around everywhere. I think he was in Vegas. I don't know where he's at now. But Manel Kape's to play here.
And this is my mortal lock, baby. Mortal lock demon.
I like Manel Kape in this spot. I've already shared the slime ball. He's in it. Spoiler alert. Of course, my mortal lock's in it. Minus 250 is a price. I'm not loving the pay, if I'm being completely honest with you. Simple for the fact that Manel Kape, again, like I said before, he just doesn't go. If he goes, we're good, right? If he lets it go, we're good. Because Dobrak got knocked around by Matthias Nicolau, who does have power. He knocked out Schnell he knocked down Schnell, knocked him out a few times. The guy is patient and does pack some power, and David Dobrak is very basic. He's a little basic bitch on the feet. if you ask me. So give me Manel Kape. I'm just worried that if he doesn't show up like he's been showing at the last 2 fights, we're gonna lose a really close decision, and I don't want that at all. But give me Manel Kape. All right, here we go. This name I've been dreading to pronounce, and my buddy Steve, who went with me in the fight, I was saying I was trying to get better, and he goes, no. He's like, that's kind of fun when you butcher these names, right? And until someone cuts me a check, I'm going to just keep winging it, right? And Heidi Dean, shout out Heidi Dean, one of the nicest people in the world. She sends me files when I fuck up so bad. So we'll see here. Brian Battle, I got that name, plus 125 versus, here we go, Renault Fakhretdinov. I'm going to go Renat. Renat is what I'm going to go with. He's a minus 145. 20-2 this guy. Debuted at 185. Clearly undersized. Now he's at 170 against Brian Battle. The line is not as wide as I thought, right? Brian Battle's one of those guys who I watch and I don't really see it. He's coming off a great knockout over Takashi Soto with a head kick, but that was early, right? He's looked good since he's come to 85, or excuse me, come from 85 to 70. And he's getting better. He's tough. He's durable. He does get hit. He does get hurt a little bit, but he's never going to quit in there, right? He's got that grimy style. And it looks like he's developing some power. That head kick over Takashi Sato, even though it was early, it was a beautiful head kick. And then you got Renat, who's coming in very hyped, 20-2, Russian guy. Again, undersized for 85. Glad to cut down to 70 here. And when you're hanging me a 1 minus 145 on a guy with this established record, I'm good to take him. Now, I'm nervous. This is my nervous fight here. I didn't get to bet as many fights as I wanted to in Vegas, so I might go a little extra on this one just because final fight card of the year. Why the fuck not? This is a fight that I want to bet because I feel like Renat is the better fighter, more skill. But Brian Battle, he's battle tested. See what I did there? That's wordplay. That's wordplay, people. But no, he's a guy that I overlook, and he hasn't really fought the level of competition Renat's fought for sure. Has not. But young kid getting better, and either Renat's going to come out there and fucking embarrass this dude, knock him out, show him that there is levels to this, or he's going to underestimate him because he's 8-1, and Renat's fought some of the best guys in Europe. He's Russian. He's 22. And he's going to go out there and he's going to underestimate him. He's going to lose a fucking greasy decision without cardio, but I do like that it's at 70 because he's obviously working on his cardio to get down to 70. Now, is the weight cut going to play a factor? I don't know. He's not that big. But if he's staying chunky and you're cutting that weight, then it obviously can be an issue. But give me Renat. I like the low number. I'm nervous about it. My thing to you, to implore you people, the beautiful, wonderful Club 1K that are listening and watching this now, do not put this in a parlay. This is parlay buster written all over it. There are some really MMA hipster nerds who have seen every single one of Renat's fights in Russia, Europe scene, whatever, and they're going to go heavy on him. They might go multiple units and put him in a parlay. Those guys know more than me, sure, but I got this sixth sense about it. Don't rush this guy to a parlay. This fight could be a little greasy here. Either he destroys Battle, or it's going to be a battle. That's wordplay again. All right, next up, we got Machete plus 115 versus Rafi Garcia minus 135. Point blank, simple. Not going to spend too much time in this fight. Machete, 23-year-old kid, knockout power. Rafi Garcia lays an egg. Sometimes he looks good. Sometimes he looks bad. He even said, I'm really embarrassed by my last performance. I'm going to come out. I'm going to look good. I'm going to do something dangerous here. That's all cool, great, grand. He's a tough dude. He's a strong guy. He doesn't really know what he wants to be yet. Is he a grappler? Is he a striker? Everyone Cub Swanson always raves about his strength. Don't give a shit. Give him a shot. That 23-year-old kid. He's going to be throwing fucking elbows out there. Big bombs, just bricks. And again, Garcia is very, very tough, but I think he's going to slow down. I think Machado's going to take over. I like him by KO. I don't think if Garcia's ever been finished before. He's got a good chin on him, but let's go KO for the fuck of it. But give him a shot. I'm mispronouncing his name. All right, this fight's a fucking banger. Said Nurmagomedov minus 105 versus Sadiq Kakhramonov. I think I nailed both those names. Minus 115. So Sadiq Kakhramonov trains out of Washington. UFC debut was great. Looks good. Very, very good everywhere, right? He's one of those like new kind of age fighters where he has a wrestling background, but he can also strike. His cardio is elite. Trains with Terrence McKinney, guys in that part of the world, that part of the country. they rave about this kid. It's long overdue that he got a shot in UFC. He's still young in the game. And then you got Said Nurmagomedov, who, choked out Cody Saman quick, which was a surprise to me. I believe I was on the same side on that. And I'm just always looking for a way to fade these Russians. Always looking for a fade, because you don't see the name Nurmagomedov very often on the losing side. This is a straight pick 'em. I love pick 'em fights. Yeah, I said it right. And I'm going to fade the Nurmagomedov again. Saudi Kakhramonov. I think this kid can put in an extra gear. I actually think Saeed is just okay. He's not an Umar. He's not, in Islam. He's better than Abubakar, but he's not, I don't think, that great. I don't think he's good at touch championship level. And that just could be my opinion, because maybe I'm a little biased, because I'm tired of these Khabib guys winning all the time. They're taking my money. So give me Kakhramonov in a very, very greasy fight. I think this is going to be contested everywhere. I think the scramble is going to be fantastic. This might be one of my fights tonight. Highly technical, highly skilled, elite guys going at it both sides of the way. And I just like Kakhramonov to be a little bit better. Now, obviously, parlays avoid. This is a straight wager bet, right? Straight wager all the way. Wouldn't go too high on it because I'm not overly confident, but I'm going to go Kakhramonov here, for the simple fact that I think he's just going to be a little bit ahead. So let's see if we get let's not have Doug Crosby there, right? Get Doug Crosby out of there, and let's get some real judges. All right, Julian Marquez versus Deron Winn. Next. Right before I got on, Deron Winn fainted at the PI and fell down some steps. Very scary stuff. Has a mild concussion, hurt his neck, hurt his back a little bit. So obviously the fight's pulled. And Julian Marquez is not going to remain on the card, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm glad Deron Winn didn't severely hurt himself falling down some steps. That's some scary stuff. And feigning as well is scary stuff. That's obviously probably weight cut related, or maybe he was sick or something like that, but that's a bump. So we're not getting that fight. Jake Matthews, -265 versus Matt Sellensberger, +225. This line perplexes me, right? I'm a little higher on Sellensberger than I think most people, but +225 is a really nice number. With that being said, Jake Matthews' swagger, his performance, his boxing, his just everything in the Andre Fieldholt fight was amazing. I've rewatched that performance multiple times. I mean, that is such a fucking clean performance by a guy who was not going to be knife. Andre Fieldholt came in that fight top of the world, destroying people in the UFC. And Jake Matthews goes, we'll see about that, and stood in front of him, outboxed him, hurt him every chance he got, was better everywhere. And then after he knocked him out, just did kind of a Jordan shoulder struck. I love that shit. I love that performance. Sellensberger, a really big athletic kid, but he just seems like every time I pick him, every time I think this power advantage is there, he's just a step behind. Now, Jake Matthews, in my opinion, he's been in UFC for a while, young kid. He was going to be the next Australian star. That kind of fizzled out a little bit. I think it's between the ears. It's a mental thing, right? I think that Field fight really kind of changed the mental of him. And he even said it, like, I could be the best in the world if I'm the best myself in here. They're both built very similar. Sellensberger, I think, is going to have maybe the power advantage, and Matthews is going to have the speed. I don't want to see Matthews really grappling too much in this. I really want to see him boxing. I think he can outbox Sellensberger. I think he's faster. I think he has better boxing. I think he has better head movement. I like Matthews in the spot here at -265. I just would like to take a peek at Sellensberger, who's very tough. He's been in there with some really good guys. Doesn't go away. I like Matthews by decision. I don't see a finish happening here. But, this could be recency bias. Sellensberger's been up and down the UFC, hasn't really beat elite competition. Sure, he knocked Martin Sano out. My daughter could do that. But with Jake Matthews -265 here, looking great after the field hole, been around forever, and I really hope he turned that corner. I like Matthews here at -265. I flirted with them being the favorite lock, my mortal lock. But again, I got this thing in Sellensberger in my brain that he's better than what he has shown. And, at this underdog price, it could bite you. So no lock. I'm not going to lock him up. We ain't locking him up, but I do like Jake Matthews a lot here. Cheyenne Vlismas versus Corey McKenna. Cheyenne's -190, Corey McKenna +160. So I wonder if Roman is going to be in her corner or not. Roman just got announced he's fighting Marvin Vettori. I don't think he went back to Georgia because his ladies fight. I wonder if JP Bass is going to be in her corner. What just drama filled? There needs to be a reality show about all the fighters that are just banging and, because listen, it happens a lot. You're in the gym, you're rolling with people, listen, Well, people are human beings, human beings. If you're single, you're single. You fuck. Who cares, right? It's part of life. But they were married, right? And some shit went down. It's hey, whatever. But Cheyenne, I love her attitude. I love her confidence. She's a bad bitch in there, right? She's mean, right? And she's very, very good. But because there's always a but, Corey McKenna hasn't looked great. Coming off a loss, she looks like she's just a step behind a little bit sometimes. But she's got good grappling. She's got a good team behind her. Cheyenne got tossed around by Nektat, Ruiz, Montserrat. I can't pronounce her first name. The girl who just basically headlocked her the whole time, right? Now, I know Cheyenne's probably going to fix these mistakes. She's training in Georgia. She's training with Delete. Is very good. She's training in Vegas. But I think McKenna here is an interesting number at plus 160. I'm going to go McKenna here as a dog shot. I like this play here. By decision, over 2.5, parlay line ball parlay, over 2.5. I think Cheyenne could either run away with it and just be a bad bitch on the feet and stop all the grappling exchanges, or McKenna can create grappling exchanges and Cheyenne's going to have to work her way up, but then get put back down. It's going to be one of those fights. Work her way up, get put back down, right? How good is her takedown defense? Has she improved? I'm sure she's improved enough, but is it enough? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So give me Corey McKenna plus 160. I like that number. I think Cheyenne's just a little bit high. Little bit high. All right, next up, Corey Brundage, plus 235 versus Mikhail Olashechek. Fucking nailed that. Minus 280. So this was surprising to me. So what I do, a little behind baseball here, boys. I fill out my card. I go winner, loser, winner, loser. I mark every fight with a W. See, I got a card here. Every fight with a W. I'm old school, like paper, right? I'm fucking okay, right? I'm a dinosaur. But this is how I get down. And I went through and I leave things blank if I got to research more, or if I got to look at numbers or whatever. But when I saw Cody Brundage versus Olashechek, I go, oh, okay, Cody Brundage, it's going to be a close line, I think, right? I know Olashechek's coming off that win over Sam Alvey. Brundage is a little hot right now, so I mark Brundage. Plus 235?
Hello? Okay, this is Dog.
Yeah, there's a dog. Whoa, plus 235 for Cody Brundage. Now, Cody Brundage is probably on the average side of fighters, but he's off a 2-fight win streak, 2 finish streak. He's developing his skills well. He's really good friends with Dustin Jacoby. That dude's an animal. They're training good, but Cody Brundage is a wrestler. He's a very, very good wrestler. Olashechek has been taken down and submitted a lot in his fights. I know he is cleaned that up a little bit. He's tried to fix that, right? And, and he says, I'm going to break his face. That was a direct quote. I'm going to break this guy's face. Olashechek has interesting striking, very, very good boxing. He's very flat-footed, touches the body, touches the head. Brundage can be hurt. I've seen him quit before. But he's in this little bit of a mode here. He's in this little bit of a groove. Plus 235 is worth a shot. That's my dog lock. I love that number on Cody. I really thought it was going to be closer. I thought maybe he would be the plus. I thought we're looking at plus 135. You're giving me $100 more, 100 points more, $1 more, however you want to explain that. I'm going to take the shot. I'm going to ride with Cody, but basically on the wrestling. Hopefully he's not too hand happy. Hopefully he's like, dude, I've been knocking dudes out. I'm going to stand with this guy. That's going to be a problem because Olashechek is very underassuming. Is that unassuming? Unassuming is how you say that word. And he'll fucking take you out. His strikes are very, very good. He's very powerful. He knocked around Sam Alvey, but Sam Alvey's kind of end of his road there. Give me Cody Brundage here for the dub, for the underdog dub, for the lock dub. Let's go. Drew Dober versus Bobby Green. Drew Dober minus 150, Bobby Green plus 130. Bobby Green saying some interesting stuff today at the pre-fight presser, or his little media scrum, because he had some steroid stuff, or what did he get popped for? Hit it in the comments if you guys know. Was it steroids? Was it just, I know he got suspended for USADA for a couple months because of something found in the system, and, he denies it or whatever, or maybe he didn't deny it. Maybe he owned it. I don't know what it was, but he kind of went on a rant about his last time out. We saw him, he fought Islam, and he said Islam felt like guys that I know have been on steroids that I've rolled with in the past. And he says that in Russia, they feed these guys steroids at like 10 years old, right? So he had an interesting presser, right, about steroids and about who uses them and whatnot. And I picked this fight on Anakin Florian. I'm rocking with Drew Dober here. I think he's going to win by decision. Bobby Green's an interesting guy because he's in close fights all the time. If you don't put him out, it's going to be a close fight. I see him wrestling a little bit here on Dober. I think Dober being the stronger guy, the bigger guy here, and Dober just marching forward. Dober has a chin from hell. He's not going to get knocked out by Green, even though Green did knock out Ali Quinta, and Green hasn't been known to be a power puncher, at least in the UFC, but Ali Quinta was like 2 foot out. Like Ali Quinta before he walked out was signing real estate papers. That guy did not want to be there. So that was very interesting. But Drew Dober's going to watch out for the counters. I see him missing a lot because Bobby Green does that, shoulder roll shit, right? You know what I mean? So I like Drew Dober here. Leg kicks, forward pressure, watch the takedowns. Bobby likes to put himself against that fence instead of always going to the head, rip that fucking body. That scores too. Easier to find the body than it is to find the head, especially when the guy moves all that well. That's my tip to Drew Dober. I like Drew Dober by decision. Next up, Alex Caceres, plus 145 versus Julian Erosa, minus 170. So I like Julian Erosa. I liked him from the Ultimate Fighter. I liked him from when he fought Patty back in the day. I liked when he's been in the UFC like 3 or 4 times. A little bit of a chin issue. Always exciting guy. Very well-rounded. Has a really good dart stroke. Has a good guillotine choke. Likes to get in wars. But defense obviously is a problem. But Caceres and him are built about the same for 145. It's very interesting. Caceres, even though he doesn't have a ton of knockouts, he does have some really good unique strikes, unique kicks. He's hard to hit. Erosa's kind of erratic in there. He puts his hands down. He throws real wide hoops or wide shots, like hook shots, loopy, not hoops, loopy shots. It's very interesting, and he leaves his chin quite available. And so does Caceres. So this should be a really, really fun fight. And this is splitting hairs here. I see a lot of my fellow cappers on Twitter loving Caceres here. Loving Caceres by submission was what a couple people saw. I like that shot. If you're going to take a shot, fucking take a shot. But I tend to back Julian Erosa. I don't know why. Juicy J just gets my pick. I'm picking him here. Not a parlay piece. I like him by decision. Alex Caceres is very hard to finish. A lot of people can finish him by submission, not really knockout. He's been dropped before. He's been in the Warriors. He's been in the UFC forever. So I see a decision win. I see this being a really, really fun fight on both guys' side. Both guys are absolute animals. They're going to get after it. Really, really fun fight here. But I'm going to go Juicy J. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I like it. I got a crush on it. But yeah, we'll go with that. All right, next up, Amir Albazi. How do you say that? I got no Albazi. There you go. Versus Alessandro Costa. But Albazi minus 410 versus plus 330 for Costa. Yeah, this is your typical, Brazilian fought in the Contender Series, didn't get the shot. Now he's coming back in. Very good on the ground. I wouldn't say very good on the ground, but at least that's where he likes to take the fight. Albazi, I think, is just a freak. I think this guy's flying under the radar. I think he's good everywhere. Stand up's really good. He moves his head well. His timing's good. He's fast, but not the fastest guy. And his ground game's elite. Him on top's great. Him on his back's great. Hasn't fought a lot of elite level competition in the UFC quite yet. But I do think this guy's really good. He's got a great record. His outside the wins of the UFC are pretty decent. Nothing to write home about, right? But I think the guy's really good, and Vegas sees it as well at minus 410. You got a guy who looked very flat on the Contender Series, couldn't get the finish. So they said, no, go get a win. Got to finish outside the UFC. Now they brought him in Costa. But I like Albazi here. This is just not really, any like a sexy pick or anything like that. We're going to go Albazi. Minus 410. He's not my parlay. You can throw him in a parlay. I think he's a good anchor. It's a big number. You got to sweeten that number somehow. I don't know how he's going to get it done. TKO or maybe submission. I don't have a really good pinpoint on how the fight will go. So I'm going to avoid props for this fight myself. But if you, the viewer, the listener, has a pinpoint of how that, like, Albazi's going to knock this fucking dude out, right? Then play that. Get a better number. But the pick is going to be Albazi for sure. All right, next up, you got Arman Sharukian minus 190 versus Damir Uzmagulov plus 160. Again, these final 2 fights I picked on the Anik and Florian show. Final show of the year for the pick'ems. Go check that out. Kenny and I picked 3 fights. We disagreed on 2 of the 3. So I'm sure you've already seen that now. It's been out for a few days. Anyway, Sakarian is a guy that I like a lot. I really do. But Damir Ismagulov is like the fucking sneaky guy in the division. No one's talking about this guy. He just keeps winning 24-1. I'm going to keep winning. And Sakarian comes in, fights Islam, has a competitive fight, loses to the champ, but doesn't get finished. Young kid, and everyone's all over this dick. Everyone's on his dick, right? Fights Gamrot, which I thought he won, but he looked good doing the stand-up, and then he just kept rushing the shot. Later the fight goes, and Gamrot was blocking those shots. So he's got to be careful with Ismagulov, who is a very good striker. He's good to shoot a lot, Sakarian is. But let's be confident in your hands, young man, right? You're powerful, you're built, you're stocky for the division. You throw big shots. You got some fancy kicks that you've been working on. Do that because Ismagulov is very tight. So you got to break him down up high before you shoot the legs. Because you shoot the legs, you're looking at a neck, you're looking at whatever. I think he can get Ismagulov down, but I don't know if he can hold him down. I don't know if he can do it over 3 rounds consistently because Ismagulov is a very, very sharp, smart fighter. So I can understand why Sakarian is getting all the love. He's minus 190, but I'm going Ismagulov as a dog shot here, plus 160. I just think he's a killer on the feet. I think the body kicks are an issue. How many is he going to throw? Because he's worried about the takedown. I don't know. But Ismagulov, again, not the fastest guy in the world, not the most powerful guy in the world. He's very tight. But when he throws precise and he throws for a reason. And typically he hits the mark, right? So Carrion's going to have to really be on his grappling toes here, but he can't rush it. If he rushes it, I think he loses just like the Gamrot fight. Hopefully he'll learn his lesson. He's a young kid. He seems to be very confident this week. He's wearing like the yellow shades and cool hats and shit like that. Do you, bud? Hey, babe, do you? But I think this is a winnable fight for both guys, depending on what their game plan is. I know that's the most simplistic thing to fucking say ever. But if Sakarian rushes his takedowns, he's going to slowly get pieced up. And the more takedowns you miss, the tired you get. If Ismagulov doesn't respect the takedowns because he's been in there with really good grapplers before, then he's going to be on his back, and then the fight's just going to drift away from him because every chance he gets on his feet, he's going to have to try that much harder to score a shot, score a point, to try to put him out. Those are easy to read. Sakarian gets him down. Very interesting fight here. The trajectory of what 155 can go with the winner of this fight is very interesting to me. These 55ers are cream of the crop. Very, very good main event. Main event, Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland, my old buddy Sean Strickland. So I got sick Friday night in Vegas. Chris Curtis, my buddy, my brother, wanted me to come to his team fight dinner after the weigh-ins. And I desperately wanted to go. I wanted to see him. I want to bro hug him. I want to fucking kiss him. And then Sean Strickland would have been there, and I wanted to meet Sean Strickland to see if this guy was a real human being. Because you've all seen this social media stuff. The guy's interesting. And I am very intrigued by interesting thinking people, right? He is probably the most interesting thinker that I've ever not known, but I've followed, right? But that intrigues me, how his thought process goes. And the more stories I hear about him, the more I'm just like, this is a real person. So it sucks I didn't get to meet Strickland. He looks like to be in pretty good shape, right? And Jared Cannonier always comes in good shape, and it's all about matchups. Strickland is a young guy, 30, 31, and he spars a lot, right? And I don't know that if that sparring is fixing his issues that he has with his striking. He's sideways. He holds his hand weird. He keeps his chin up in the air. Jared Cannonier is a guy who throws nice jump in left hooks, big overhand rights. And Sean does have decent defense, right? It's hard to really get a beat on him sometimes, but you look at the Pereira fight. I think Pereira laid a blueprint. Sean uses pressure to come forward. Pereira kept circling off, circled into that left hook, and that left hook is fucking dynamite. Sean said it himself. So that's a little bit different. That's the world champ right now. Pay some respect. But Sean is going to be coming forward. He's going to be putting punches in the face. Not the biggest puncher in the world, right? Not the biggest knockout puncher. Wins a lot of his fight by decisions. Jared Cannonier went 5 rounds with Izzy Adesanya, who isn't as pressure forward as a Sean Strickland, but very good body type. And he went 5 rounds with him. I think Jared Cannonier, what you can do is you can just abandon takedowns right off the get. Sean is a very good defensive wrestler. Don't waste energy. Abandon takedowns. What I want you to do, Jared, okay, what I want you to do, because you're in my slime ball, you are my pick, and you're my send them home. Wrap it up. What I want you to do is I want you to kick that front leg because it's there to be kicked. Sean takes the kick, the counter. Fine. Kick the leg. You got strong kicks. You have crystals around your neck 24/7 that gives you the power to kick like a horse. So kick those fucking legs, right? Kick those fucking legs. Kick them out, and then start working up top. Work your way up. Kick, body, head. Sean's got some decent front kicks. His movement's very good. He's very good in the pocket because of the sparring. He knows how to move his head very well. He has very good vision because all the rounds sparring, but he still makes a lot of mistakes in there. And with a guy as powerful as Jared Cannonier, that's a problem. He's in the slime ball as well. So pick is Jared Cannonier by knockout, probably late, 3, 4, 5th round. He's going to catch Sean. I like that pick. He is in the slime ball parlay. Manel Kopp, first leg, second leg, Cheyenne Vlismas versus Corey McKenna, over 2.5. right? Or you can play it by decision. If your book has a better decision line on that fight, we'll go to the cards or whatever. And then Jared Cannonier to round out plus 252. That is the final slime ball of the year. Next week, we're going to recap all my numbers from this year, what I picked, how did my underdogs go, how to, all that shit. I'll sit down this weekend like a little fucking geek, do all the math for you, do all the fucking math, get my calculator out, whatever. So that's that. Secondly, next year, I've talked about this on the podcast before. Or next week also, since we have a break, I've been asked to do a James Krause video explaining what I know and what I think about it. That's coming. So that's gonna be coming next week. Probably a Wednesday takes thing. We'll do that next week. As far as next year goes, I know it's a little bit not in limbo, but I know like I want to have a beefier schedule. I want to do things more, right? I want to grow even more. But with the mom stuff, it's going to be a little bit tougher than that. But I promise you, next year I have live betting that I can do from right here. I could sit right here and go boop, 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 and live bet whatever the fuck I want. Which is so exciting. I literally have only carried DraftKings on my phone. I have how many? 4? Let me see. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. 5 new sportsbook apps because the minute those launch in Ohio, you get free bets. I'm up to $800 in free bets. So your boy, it sucks. I got to wait till January 14th, I believe is the first UFC card of the year. It sucks. I got to wait till then to fire off some bets. I'll obviously probably do some NFL bets. I'll definitely do, that'll be, I can't do that. Either way, I am beyond excited for next year, being able to legally bet in my state. And I want this channel to grow. Like I said, new logo coming, new intro music coming, and just more of the same, but better and bigger. And, I'm trying to get the video better. I'm trying to work on my editing. I'm trying to do everything. I think I do a pretty good job at gauging everyone on Twitter. Like, that's what I love. I love engaging with fans, and I love different people's opinions on Instagram too. I'm trying to get better at Instagram. All your messages are very welcomed and lovely. Obviously, I'm more of a Twitter guy. I made that clear, but I'm trying to get better with Instagram. But either way, this year has been fantastic. I've been full-time on Anakin Florian since March. That changed my life. You guys made Club 1K change my life. And instead of resting on my laurels, I'm always a positive affirmation kind of guy. That's just me, right? You give me a compliment, you give me a positive reinforcement, I'm going to work 10 times harder. That's just the way I am. Negative, I go negative, right? With this growth that I have, and I have some really cool Spotify rap stuff. Whenever I submit it, my podcast is on Spotify. Emma Takes Podcast on Spotify. They gave me like a bunch of like how my show has grown in the year and stuff. And I'm going to post those on Instagram. That's really cool how far we've gone. And I just want to continue to do that. I'm ready to run through a fucking wall to get this where it needs to go. And it's because of you guys. It's because of everyone that watches, everyone that listens. I fucking love you. I love you. Okay. I said it. I love you. Thank you. So next week we'll recap my year and we'll do the James Krause video where I have a lot to say about it. Obviously it's all allegedly and allegations, no facts, no whatever. There are some facts, like he sold his gym. Those are facts. He got his computer, phone, and everything confiscated. Those are facts. But I'll give my opinion on it and see exactly how I land on it or whatever like that. That's about it. Go to Brian Petrie MMA on Instagram or Twitter. Follow me on there. Hit the subscribe button, right? Be a part of Club 1K. It's the most exclusive club in the business, okay? Be a part of 1K. And that's about it. Final fight card of the year. Final time I'm going to Indiana to place bets. I don't drive through Indiana a lot. I'll take a video. I'll do a video when I'm there Saturday of the little parking lot I go to. I'll probably never go there again. End of an era. End of a good era, because I'm tired of fucking driving to stink Indiana. But I do it. I do it to place bets. The only time I've ever driven to Indiana, even though it's really close, is to go to fucking Chicago. Wife and I love Chicago. Anyway, end of an era. Follow me on Brian PG MMA on all social media. Hit that fucking subscribe button. Let's fucking go.